Into the eye of the storm we go tonight for game number 150 of SFL Season 22. Tonight, the Carolina Skyhawks try to get into the playoffs on the last night as they take on the Florida Storm, looking to avenge a loss last week against the mighty Canton Classics. Alongside Ike McBride, Ron Haynes in the stats truck, Charles Doherty on analysis, I'm Cameron Irvine. We got a good one here tonight, Charles, as it could be Carolina in or Alamo City getting into the playoffs on the final night.
Yeah, this has the makings of being a wild game, Cam. It looks like all of the pressure's on Carolina to win, but the good news is they're coming in with a 4-game winning streak, and they've seen a lot of improvement on the offensive side. Their defense has been pretty steady this season. Bad news is they've got a 20% win record on the road, and they're 1-3 against teams with winning record this season. So they're going to have to play a flawless game, limit the mistakes, get Ike McBride engaged, and put some pressure on that Florida quarterback in order to walk away with a win here.
Carolina was in this building last season in Week 10, came away with a win. That game was wild and wacky from start to finish. 28-21 the final there. Will Florida bounce back, or will Carolina be in? Kick it, we're underway in Fort Lauderdale. From the 3-yard line, Caleb Giffis on the return up to the 30. That's where Ron Cochran in this offense that really struggled last week, albeit against a historically good Canton Classics defense, will come out for their first offensive possession. Florida in their all dark blues tonight with the light blue numbers, lightning bolts down the side. Carolina white, red with blue numbers, red and white trim. Handoff to Bullet Boletsky up the middle, and Boletsky will pick up 8. Let's meet the Florida Storm offense led by Hall of Famer, 5-time All-Star, and Offensive Player of the Year way back when, Ron Cochran at quarterback, Charlie Boletsky, Chris Comasack in the backfield. Comasack, one of 4 backs in the backfield with at least 10 touchdowns this season. Wide receivers are Stephen Bush, Caleb Giffis, Art Vandelay, Bobby Tarantino. Tight ends, Ron Haynes, Nate LeMay. And on the line, tackle William Davidson, guard Joseph Wade, and guard Greg McDonaldson. Ones to keep an eye on. A combined 10 All-Star appearances between those linemen. As Comasack gets his first carry, he'll be dumped ahead by Shravan Prasad for a first down.
What a great season Comasack's having. He's probably the best fullback in the league, and he's the spearhead of that running game. 3rd in the SFL with 11 touchdowns. We're going to see a lot of him touching the ball tonight, Cam.
Florida 4th in the SFL in rushing yards at 129 per game. That goes to Boletsky's, or actually the backup to Comasack out of the backfield to pick up 2 yards.
When they do decide to go back and pass, Cam, got to put some pressure on Cochran. Otherwise, it's going to be a long evening.
That was Damon Shelton on that last carry as Cochran hands it off to Comasack, and Comasack will pick up just a few. Ron Cochran been sacked 19 times this season. That's above average in the SFL. But to your point, Charles, the Carolina Skyhawks just 15 sacks this season, 18th in the SFL.
And the disappointing part of it is the number of sacks per game has gone up significantly this last quarter of the season.
Cochran to throw. Fires on 3rd down. Pass is caught by Stephen Bush at the Skyhawk 36-yard line, moving the chains and keeping the opening drive alive. First down, Florida.
He's the favorite target of Ron Cochran. Stephen Bush, 6'3", 215, leads the team with 45 receptions and 6 touchdowns. He's the go-to guy.
Cochran this season, 6th in the SFL in completion percentage, 7th in touchdowns with 15. He continues to rack up an impressive career. It includes 52,736 yards and counting of passing, as the handoff is only a pickup of 1 yard, tackled by Danny Stinson.
A nice discipline there by the linebacking crew of Carolina, in particular Danny Stinson, the inside linebacker, knew what to do, stayed his ground, and was able to close down that gap as soon as it opened.
2nd and 9. Florida certainly taking their time here on the opener. This is the 7th play of the drive. And the handoff goes to Beletsky, and quickly Danny Stinson with another tackle. This Carolina defense led by Stinson, Mojo McLean, and Shravan Prasad at linebacker. On the line, it's Christopher Colon, Levant Irvine, May Carter, and Phil Hall. In the secondary, Tristan Hatley, Davidson Joseph, Skippy Curtis, J.C. Wallace, Chris Delro, and Ibari Aman Eaglin. Wallace, the 35th pick of Carolina in the most recent draft. Cochran on a rollout. Pass caught by Bush. First down, just shy of the 10-yard line, but back-to-back third downs. Stephen Bush on a rollout has been able to haul it in for a first down.
Yeah, and it was smart calling that bunch formation there in that zone look. Cochran went the risky route, but he had three options. Pretty much every receiver in that bunch formation was open.
Not terrible coverage there by Skippy Curtis, but didn't want to let up a touchdown. Kind of sat back in his zone, didn't play it too aggressively. Makes the wrap up, but now it's a fresh set of downs for Florida, who is on the move. Another rollout for Ron Cochran, fires to the end zone. Ron Haynes, one-handed. I didn't know that was in Ron's arsenal. Touchdown, Florida.
Yeah, that's a highlight right there. I mean, he's a very reliable target. We talked about Bush, but man, Haynes at tight end, great route runner, able to make those catches in a crowd, and that was a pretty impressive opening drive, Cam.
That's your nice hands catch of the game, presented by Retroid. Put a Retroid in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K23. I don't know if Ron Haynes has gotten the nice hands catch all season long. He can tell us in the stats truck. That kick is good. It's a battle of statisticians tonight as well, Charles, because we got Ike and Ron in here, and I'm sure they're going to be talking smack all night.
Yeah, we had to separate them before the game. It was pretty ugly.
We also have Mark Lopez here with our bingo sheet tonight. We have no free space tonight. He's making it difficult on us. It's a great part of being a part of the broadcast team and the stats trucks. You get to play little games like that behind the scenes in the SFL. And now it's Matt South coming out for the Carolina Skyhawks, who are playing in their 250th franchise game tonight. Third most in SFL history. They've been around since season 1, back when they were the Kailua Wyverns over in Hawaii. And they start with the ball on the 20.
Way before my time.
Feels like before my time, but I think that's impossible. So long ago, back in the walk-in closet days. Ike McBride, red shoes, picks up 4 yards to bring up 2nd and 6.
They're ruby colored shoes.
Oh, ruby. Forgive me.
Yeah. You don't want to get the person doing your stats angry at you, Cam.
No, I do not. Is there a difference between ruby or red?
Ruby, that's what on the Wizard of Oz, the ruby slippers. She did that on purpose.
Gotcha. 2nd down and 6. Handoff. That is Reach Prasad. He has not ruby shoes, and Daniel Wright picks up the tackle.
I'm amazed looking at the stats, Cam. You would think that they'd throw the ball more to Harish, being a former wide receiver. I think he's only got 2 receptions all year.
3rd and 5. South fires down the middle, incomplete. Quintero and Chase Earl were in the area, but Quintero could not come up with the completion, and the drive is going to stall out for Carolina.
Yeah, he was in his mitts. He's kicking himself. Quintero rarely drops those.
Return from Tarantino up to the 47-yard line, and that'll start Florida's 2nd possession. So Carolina's defense is going to have to come up with a defensive stop early, Charles, as especially Ron Cochran seems to be dialed in after last week's struggles.
Yeah, and the offensive line, they're in a groove as well. Nice running, good protection for the quarterback, and they're eating up the clock with those long sustained drives. Well, that one long sustained drive.
Cochran fires. Oh, it's overthrown and picked off. Tristan Hatley, who's somewhat of a Monday night spectacular meme these days after his last appearance on the Charleston bench, comes up again with a big play in prime time.
I forgot about that. That always cracks me up. Yeah, I guess he takes the lead now on the team with 4 interceptions. He was tied with Danny Stinson, but now Stinson's going to have to go out there and show something and tie him with 4.
And Ron Haynes on the tackle. So Haynes is one of 2 Florida Storm players with a tackle tonight, and he's also got a touchdown. He's busy tonight. Off the Hatley interception, the handoff goes to McBride to start the drive, and again, Daniel Wright, with his 3rd straight tackle on a running back, will set up second down.
I think it's smart. The more you feed your running back, especially the likes of Ike McBride, I mean, she's a bruiser, and you know those runs that get 2 or 3 yards in the first quarter are going to wind up getting 5 and 6 as they start bruising on the defense.
South straight back will fire this time. There's a flag on the play. I think there was some interference just past 5 yards, but we'll get the call. You can contact someone within 5 yards, but I guess when the ball is thrown, we'll take a look at it on the replay. We'll see for ourselves. 1 Mississippi is called for the infraction. We won't get a replay, so Vince DeSantis has a first down.
I like that route they ran, Cam. I think that's one of the routes, those short middle routes, more so the short routes, I think, are going to be pretty effective tonight.
Matt South fires it short. That's Chris Curtis with his first catch of the night. Second down and 5. We know how important points off turnovers are in this league, Curtis, and that pass caught by Curtis. But Charles and Carolina's got to do something with this here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And 5 yards on a play is pretty darn good. Don't press it against that dangerous secondary of Florida.
Second and 5. South's pass is picked off. Oh, Florida's got all the hands tonight. Ryan Tobin with the snare.
And that could have been the catch of the game as well. That one-handed catch in traffic. I don't think that was a very smart decision by South. Looked like it was good coverage. Maybe he didn't see Tobin coming over.
He was looking for Christian Bachagalupi, which was his first target. 4 different Skyhawks have been targeted early on, but that wipes away the Tristan Hatley interception, and Florida right back to work with 4:18 to go in the first quarter. Boletsky takes the handoff and picks up 6.
Yeah, nice hole by the offensive line for Boletsky to go through. Always good when you get 6 yards on your first down.
Handoff to Kamasak. He's got the first down right around the midfield stripe. 3:45 and ticking. Florida playing their type of game right now. Charles, I think Carolina just wants to make sure that they're in this thing by the second half, because the Skyhawks have really closed out games strong the back half of the season. Trooper Bell's got 40 on this game. Tell me where you were able to put the money down. Well, if it's underground, maybe you can't tell me, but good luck. First and 10. 3:20 to go in the first quarter. Toss play out to Bullitt, and Bullitt's going to pick up 2.5. Wrapped up on the outside by Amon Eaglin, his second tackle.
I don't think that Florida is surprising Carolina at all on defense. I mean, looks like they're calling decent calls. It's just like they're getting blown off the line by the offensive line, and their plays on Florida being executed perfectly.
Ron Cochran back to pass, just a 3-man rush. Everybody drops back into coverage. Somebody's going to have to get a deflection on that football, and they do. Mojo McClain with Carolina's first pass deflection of the night, but this has been the drive that has killed Carolina's defense so far. Florida's 2 for 2 on third down.
I don't know how McClain got to that. I thought that was an easy, wide-open pass.
Vandelay goes in motion. He had the big punt return touchdown last week. Looking for his first target tonight. Play fake. Ron Cochran again on a rollout. Fires deep down the field. That pass is incomplete. Was looking for Vandelay, and it's deflected by Hatley, who's having a strong quarter. Carolina gets their second straight stop and will get the football back.
Yeah, great execution by Carolina. They didn't get fooled by the play fake then the rollout. They just held their ground and executed like they've been practicing all week.
Punt is away from, as that kick goes out of bounds. Punt is away from Marcus Agrippa, the 8-time All-Star. Let's meet the Carolina offense. Matt South, Harish Prasad, Ike McBride, Hattori Anzo in the backfield. Wide receivers are Chase Earl, Riley Quintero, Chris Curtis, and Christian Bacigalupi. They are a balanced bunch. Tight end is Vince DeSantis, and on the line, watch out for Kate Palmer, Ricky Rigatoni, and Chris Cross. Handoff McBride, and that is the third straight drive that starts with a McBride carry. Picks up one. Andrew Francis on the stop.
It just seems like Florida's had the ball all night. We need a long, sustained drive by Carolina.
Florida almost double the total plays for Carolina in this first quarter, as South changes the play here on 2nd and 9. One first down for the Skyhawks so far. Handoff to McBride. She'll break a tackle. She'll roll forward, and McBride, near a first down, will set up a 3rd and 1.
And that was all Ike. Blocking was decent on the line, but right when she got past the line of scrimmage, she just lowered her shoulder and just knocked Jones back and probably a couple other defenders as well.
Under 2 to play. Carolina hanging tough. If they win tonight, they are in the playoffs. They'll take on Baltimore in the 8-9 game. As the handoff goes to Harish Prasad, he's got a lead block and a first down. If Carolina loses, Alamo City, who got the win over Los Angeles at the beginning of the week, will sneak into the playoffs as the 12 seed, and they'll go to Fort Worth in the first round.
They've been running effectively. I'd like to see them keep doing that.
South on first down will mix in a pass as Riley Quintero was blanketed, incomplete. Evan Carroll, the brilliant corner in coverage. That's the 6th pass to 6 runs so far tonight for Carolina.
And as I said at the top of the game, I mean, that secondary is very dangerous for Florida. You're going to have to keep them on their toes, and I wouldn't commit to too many of those all-pass formations in an early set of downs.
Earl's going to go in motion. Quintero's the team's leading receiver at 50. Earl's got half that, 25 catches, but 4 of them have gone for touchdowns. 2nd and 10, handoff goes to McBride. She is running right and is stretched out for no gain. Juan Mississippi with his 3rd tackle.
Looks like they sent 8 players in to stop the run on that. They had every lane covered, and Juan Mississippi was there to bring her down.
1 minute left, crowd chanting defense. 3rd down and 10 for the Skyhawks. Matt South fires. It is off McBride's hands, and then McBride gets cleaned up on 34 and verse 34 crime there from Daniel Wright. And another drive for Carolina will stall out. They'll have to punt.
I don't see that very often. The medium routes run by Ike McBride, but they could have walked away with an interception.
Punts away. Malone Brown pulling double duty. Fair catch this time called for by Tarantino at the 45-yard line. Carolina holding serve, but they do not have a drive so far tonight, Charles, with more than 1 first down in it.
Yeah, and when Florida gets into the groove, man, they are masters at eating up the clock.
No drive tonight, except Florida's first one has gone over 2 minutes. That was a 9-play, 70-yard touchdown drive. It was capped off by a one-handed catch in double coverage by Ron Haynes. Brilliantly, that pass is hauled in by Vandelay down to the Carolina 31-yard line. First down, Florida.
It looked like the safety had a good beat on an interception there. I don't know how the ball was caught on offense.
Woo!
Holy
was
smokes.
risky. And we saw that was Amon Eaglin in coverage. Lucky that didn't give up the touchdown. We saw Skippy Curtis earlier in the game who kind of hung back to make sure that the receiver didn't get behind her. Eaglin went for the pick there, missed, but fortunately his teammates are there to help him recover. Ron Haynes goes in motion, just has the one catch for the touchdown. Bush has 2 for 45. That's Vandelay's first. It goes for 23. Cochran back to throw on maybe the final play of the quarter. Has to check it down to Boletsky. Coverage strong down the field. McLean with the stop.
Another good play by McLean to end the quarter out.
That's the end of the first. Carolina nothing, Florida 7. It's early, and it is game number 150. You're watching the Monday Night Spectacular Season 22 Week 14 edition right here on SFL YouTube. Ron Haynes and Ike McBride with us in our stats truck, along with Charles Doherty on analysis. 75 of you, and hopefully counting as the night wears on and we have a competitive game. Watching at home, thanks for supporting us on every broadcast all season long. On Cochran. Fires down the field, caught by Vandelay. First down, his second catch. Florida's in the red zone.
That pass blocking was amazing. It was perfect blocking. Plenty of time for Cochran to survey the field and and find Vandelay open.
Hatley with the tackle. Doug Day in the chat. Carolina wins. Seattle gets Vancouver. That is correct. Florida wins. Seattle gets Baltimore. That is correct. Ron Cochran back to pass. He'll check it down to Boletsky, and Danny Stinson has to get on his back and go for a ride, and Stinson is hurt at the end of the play. That is a huge loss.
Yeah, he's one of the linebackers out there that brings in the ball when it comes. He doesn't pass deflect. He gets the interception. It's hopefully he can come back out there soon because they need his hands out there on defense.
Stinson was tied with Hatley before Hatley got that pick earlier with the 3 interceptions. Also has 63 tackles. Going to be a run stopper tonight. So far, Florida averaging 4 yards a carry between Boletsky and Komisak. Shotgun play for Cochran here with 2 receivers at the 10. They can get a first down at the 3. Handoff. Boletsky will pick up a yard.
Yeah, they got to keep him. And it goes without saying they got to keep him out of the end zone. But if they get a field goal out of this, it's okay. But they do not want to be down by 2 scores against this team.
Cochran 7 of 10 for 98 yards, a touchdown and a pick, likely in a passing situation here. Linebackers bunched up in the nickel. Cochran fires middle of the field. That pass is incomplete. He tried to squeeze that into Stephen Bush, who's been a big red zone target for Florida this season, but Carolina all over him.
Yeah, the only thing you can say, good coverage. This type of game, you got to bring it in and capitalize on the mistakes, the poorly thrown balls, and every opportunity you have, you got to grab onto it if you're going to beat a team like Florida.
24-yard chip shot coming up for Ethan Sneed. And that kick is, drifting way left. I'll have to keep an eye on that on some kicks later on in the evening. But a 7-play, 47-yard drive extends Florida's lead 10-0.
Yeah, the Carolina Skyhawks have shown an ability to run. I think they're just going to have to go to the well as long as they can. But unfortunately, they keep giving the ball back to Florida, and they go deeper in. They're going to have to go back to that passing game. And like I said a couple times, it's dangerous going against Florida's secondary.
Sneed's 25th field goal of the season, 3rd most coming into the week in the SFL. Earl on the kick return to get it out to the 29-yard line. I wonder if they try to pass here to start the series. They've been just a little bit predictable on their early downs. See what they do.
Yeah, and when they pass, they don't have to, go deep. Pass out of the backfield, I think works just as well, especially on first down.
McBride's in there with 4 receivers now, spread out. Dime look for Florida. First and 10 on the 29. And they spread him out to hand it off, and Ike McBride's got some space. McBride will pick up 4 before Andrew Francis comes in on cleanup duty, her third tackle, but a strong 4-yard run to start.
Yeah, it takes 3 defenders to bring her down.
8:36 left in the first half. Carolina needs a momentum boost. Chris Curtis goes in motion, being trailed by Evan Carroll outside. Tough matchup. Handoff, Prasad rather, trying to get outside, and Florida had that side overloaded. It's a 2-yard loss. Another critical 3rd and 8 coming up.
Yeah, exactly. They overloaded it, and they had 2 tight ends there for extra blocking, Cam, but Florida still was able to flood it and just take over on that play.
South has to get rid of it. Fires one-on-one coverage. Oh, I thought Quintero was going to haul it in, but Ryan Davidson with a clean hit down the field. Carolina's defense going to have to hold on again.
Yep, and the more they're on the field with these long drives, the tighter they're going to get. And these 3-yard gains are going to turn into 6, 7, 10, whatever. That last play there looked like they had a couple options down on the short, out routes, but rolled the dice, went deep, and it didn't work.
This time Quintero with some room to return, breaks off a tackle. More great field position coming up for Florida on their own 39-yard line. What do you think, Charles?
I thought I lost you for a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that.
What do you think about the game?
Oh, it's it. So far it's good. I mean, 10-0, and Carolina's shown some flashes, but they need to cut down on the mistakes, and I think they can hang in here.
Cochran going to start the drive with a pass. Look at the clean pocket. Again, just a 3-man rush. Carolina, their coverage down the field has actually been pretty good in those moments. They're not getting a lot of pressure on Ron Cochran, but so far they really haven't needed it too much.
Yeah, and they went with 3 down linemen. They put the extra coverage deep, and it paid off on that play.
Second down and 10. Vandelay goes in motion. Cochran going to throw again. Ron Cochran has time. Oh, over the outstretched hand of the defender. Chris Comisac gets loose. The fullback down the field has a first down.
Yeah, and it looked like they had routes at every level, and it looked like they were going from left to right into the middle of the field, and had plenty of options for Cochran, and another play where we're seeing solid pass blocking by the offensive line of Florida.
And that may have been a Danny Stinson replacement in there. That was London. Yeah, London Fletcher was the linebacker who kind of crept up into coverage and lost sight of Chris Comisac. Comisac only 60 receiving yards this season. That one goes for 22. First down and 10 in Carolina territory. Another pass from Ron. Pressure pass caught by Ron Haynes. He is crushing tonight. Ron Haynes with his second one-handed grab for the big fella.
I mean, he has two. Ron, you have 2 hands. You can use both of them. You're allowed to. We give you permission.
He says, I did. Last time I caught it with my right hand, and this time I caught it on my left. What do you mean?
He must have a special fan in the crowd he's just showing off to.
Southern Charm Sports asking how viewership was this season. Viewership was up. We spent a lot of time, especially early on in the season, viewership was way up. Of course, every season as Beletsky goes for 2, every season you get down with a bunch of teams eliminated from the playoffs and a bunch of bad matchups, and it can kind of suffer a little bit, but we bounce back here in week 14, and playoffs should be pretty great, Charles. We were just talking about potential matchups last night. Or this morning, rather. 2nd down and 8. Cochran hands it off to Komisak. Komisak getting a lot of work here tonight. That's his 5th touch of the football. 3rd and 5.
Yep. It looks like Carolina starting to settle down a little bit on defense. Do you think they can hold them here on this 3rd and 5?
I'd really like to get Danny Stinson back, too. It's a big loss. Especially they've been playing a lot of nickel tonight, and that leaves only one linebacker on the field. Stinson out. Cochran, 3rd down, looking for someone to get open. That pass is overthrown, and Tristan nearly had a second one. Carolina's pass defense been pretty impressive, holding Florida to another field goal, but offense has to wake up at some point.
Yeah, we mentioned it before. It doesn't look like they're sending a lot of heat on Cochran, and proving me wrong. I mean, they're standing in there, putting their defense coverage deep, and it looks like it's starting to work a little bit.
38-yard field goal. This will be his 26th. And wow, just snuck in. Almost lost it in the lights there, Charles. But Ethan Sneed, who missed one earlier this season, now 2 for 2 tonight.
I mean, what was that, like a 27-yard kick? Oh, 30, 35 maybe? I don't know how long.
Not far.
They covered 3 miles in the air.
I didn't think it was going to come back down. Ball's filled with helium. 13-0 Florida over Carolina. 5:40 to go in the first half. From the goal line, Chase Earl's got some return room, and oh boy, there's a penalty.
Oh, no.
That is likely on Carolina. A block in the back is going to kill field position. That's another thing that Florida's won in this first half. I mean, they just haven't had to work as hard for points. Carolina will start on their own 11-yard line.
Yeah, that's not a. Yeah, that is deep in the hole. But they've got the right players in the backfield to get them out of that hole. Just if they decide to hand it off to Hanzo and/or Ike.
That's just unnecessary there from Terrence.
Or Harish too. Sorry, I forgot about Harish.
Terrence McGee, and a little ticky-tack too, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
1st and 10 at the 11.
I didn't think that word was in your vernacular, Cam. Ticky-tack. I don't know. It surprised me.
Hand off to McBride. Picks up 4. I don't know what else I'd call it. What's a synonym for ticky-tack?
You got me there.
See, when you open the door, you gotta be able to close it. You know?
That was it's not good.
2nd and 6.
On my part.
Hand off to Prasad and Markham maybe for a half a yard. Daniel Wright with another stop. Another 3rd and long for Carolina. Been in this situation far too often tonight.
It's okay to go for 7-yard route.
South. 3rd down, rolling to his left. South going to try to run. There is not a lane for that, and he is dropped in the backfield. Taken down by Adam Jones. Another 3 and out for Carolina.
Yeah, you're not going to outrun Adam Jones, and Adam Jones is fast, but he's also a pretty decent tackler as well.
It's worth noting that before Florida lost to Canton, they actually went 8 straight quarters without giving up a single point. Now, it was against Denver and Jacksonville, but still, back-to-back shutouts has happened extremely rare in the SFL, as Tarantino's going to get this ball up to midfield. But this Florida defense is pretty strong in their own right. They also limited Portland to just 3 points. They limited Arizona to just 10 points. So they've had plenty of games this season where they've balled out.
Oh, definitely. And here they are again with great field position, plenty of time on the clock.
Giving up 16.4 points per game. That's 3rd in the SFL. They also have the 2nd highest scoring offensive league, 27.5. There's a reason why they're 10-1. Ron Cochran has to scramble away and finds an open Stephen Bush down the field to the Carolina 33-yard line. There's another Carolina Skyhawk hurt. It's Amari.
Oh, no.
It's Ibari Amin Eaglin. So Chris Delro is going to get an opportunity to shine, but this Carolina defense suffering casualties in the first half.
They lost one of their leading tacklers and interceptors, if that's a word, and they also lost their actual leading tackler on the team. 80 tackles so far this season for Eaglin, and he's going to be a big loss. Hope he gets back.
Carolina hanging on. Florida at the Skyhawk 31-yard line. Cochran back to pass. Will dump it off to Komisak. Komisak with a stiff arm. Good pursuit there from Shravan Prasad, who is just thankful to be healthy right now. A 6-yard gain.
Wow. I mean, if Carolina wants to get into the playoffs, I mean, this is they're just being tested. It's the next man up. They got to step in there and execute.
Carolina's beaten 4 straight teams with losing records on this 4-game win streak as Beletsky picks up a first down at the 21-yard line. They lost to the Minnesota Legend, but right before that, week 4 and week 5, they beat Alamo City and Vancouver back-to-back, held both teams under 20 points. So they know how to beat playoff teams, but it's been a minute since they played a team like Florida.
Oh yeah, definitely. But the one thing about their defense, though, Cam, is the offense obviously doesn't play as well against the teams that are over 500. But their defense, statistically, has been pretty steady, even against the winning teams.
That hurts Carolina there as the backup for Florida able to cobble together about 8 yards. A nice block from Greg McDonaldson as well there on the screen.
Yeah, and they're just I don't know if I've seen many runs by Florida that have gone for a loss tonight.
They have not been behind the sticks much. 2nd down and 2, under 3 to go in the first half. Handoff, Komisak got some space. 1st and goal. Komisak dragging down to about the 2-yard line. That's the 12th run for Florida to 17 passes. They're dominating TOP. And the Skyhawks defense backs are up against the wall.
Yeah, and if they're planning to keep running as much as they are, and I think they should, I think they're going to be delighted every time they see that 3-down line set on those early downs.
332. Welcome to the chat. And Justin Lee as well. I just don't recognize the username, so forgive me. Is Charlie Beletsky's got a touchdown. And Charles, we have another Monday night runaway. Carolina's got to wake up because we've had some bad luck here in the last part of the season.
Yep, I mean you're going up against a 10-win team, and you're giving them great field position all night, and they're going to make you pay for it.
.224 to go in the first half. 20-0 Florida takes the lead. Extra point is good. Those team stats are wrong, and we'll get them fixed. I'll show you what it looks like right now. 6-play, 50-yard drive there for Florida.
No mistakes so far for Florida. They've been spotless.
Look at that. Hasn't been much.
6.1 per play. Wow.
Yeah. Hasn't been much to talk about. Pretty lopsided as Chase Earl gets it up to the 32-yard line.
There's some things to talk about off the field, though, Cam. You're going to have a new brother.
Man, it's not even the second half, and we're pulling out this material. Oh, it's going to be a long night.
Pulling out this material.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest news flash in the league.
Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have a new brother. You know, I didn't have any siblings before that.
I know.
Hand off to Ike McBride. Picks up a couple.
You have to, all your cousins and, you got to tell them to watch out because all the broadcast crew is going to be looking to marry him so they can get on air.
That's not a prerequisite for anybody out there.
Oh, it isn't?
No, it's not. It's not. What about all the other 40 broadcasters we have? What about you? That's not a prerequisite. How'd you get
I
here?
got in it's the grandfather clause. I got in
Because
before
you're
that.
grandfather? Is that why?
Oh, congratulations, though, on your new brother and the pending nuptials.
Well, let's all just hold our congrats to me until, we see what it's all about, as that pass is incomplete, looking for Curtis. Congrats to Tyler, though. That's a big deal. 3rd and 8. I don't know how he is
So
as a
much
brother.
material on this, Cam.
Well, we're going to need maybe every bit of it tonight with this, what we got going on here. 3rd down and 8. Chase Earl goes in motion. Carolina not out of this thing. They just got to put a drive together. South going to roll out.
Definitely.
Has some time. South fires double coverage. I don't know what he was looking at. Riley Quintero blanketed Daniel Wright in tight coverage, and it'll be 4th down.
And I could be wrong here, but it looks like every pass thrown, maybe with the exception of one, they're looking, 15, 20 yards deep.
That's true. Could be the death of them tonight. And Alamo City is licking their chops. They love an opportunity at Fort Worth. It's the only team that is a part of the playoff picture that Alamo City has beaten this season. They have lost all other 6 games to playoff teams, but that was all the way back in week 1. Charles, I feel like, did we have that game? That was a great game.
I think we did, yeah. And I love playoff games where it's an interdivisional matchup, like ACA versus Fort Worth. Or I think Doug was talking in chat about Vancouver and Seattle. Those are I think those are my favorite type of playoff games.
Well, as of right now, it doesn't look like Doug's going to get his wish, but you might get yours as that pass is caught by Vandelay for a 1st down. Florida has all 3 timeouts, plenty of time.
And Cochran is very quietly putting on a show out there tonight. He's he hasn't made a mistake. He's 65% completion, 158 yards. He did throw 1 interception, but other than that one mistake, he's on fire.
Florida's really done it through the air tonight, although the ground game's been pretty good as well. But Cochran, 12 of 18, buck 85. He's been solid. And that 1 turnover, that Tristan Hatley interception, Carolina was not able to capitalize. Cochran's got all kinds of time, dumps it off to Beletsky, picks up 2, and Florida will burn their first timeout. Nice open field tackle.
Yeah, he's on path to pass for over 300. He's only done that twice so far this season.
He has now hit 5 different targets with at least 2 receptions, so Ron's been spreading it around. Cochran fires. That pass is caught. Another quick throw to Beletsky will set up a 3rd down and 4. Florida down to 1 timeout.
Yeah, that was into coverage too. But Beletsky, showed his strength, and that ball wasn't going anywhere.
Two backs and 2 receivers. Ron Haynes goes in motion.
Oh boy.
Haynes drops to throw, or Cochran rather drops to throw. Stephen Bush gets away from 3. Bush down the sideline. Touchdown,
Wow.
Florida. What a play.
His 7th touchdown of the season, and that was a great play called by Florida. Again, they had all of the route options. It looked like they were all on the same side of the field, and he found the gap in the defense. Was delivered just at the right time. And boy, man, what he does with the ball after that catch is just amazing.
Ooh, 105 yards for Stephen Bush today. He continues to be an end zone machine. Charles, is Florida versus Canton in the championship inevitable this year? I mean, this is a smoke show.
It is a smoke show. I haven't heard that one in a while. Yeah, but I mean, I think I don't think anybody's going to stop Canton on the way to the championship. But there are a couple teams out there that might be able to stop Florida.
I know that Daniel Wright's former team, the Minnesota Legend, are licking their chops, hoping that they can meet up with either Florida or Canton coming up later on in the playoffs. But they got to get that playoff monkey off their back. 0 for 3 in the playoffs, and we won't see them in the wild card round since they have a bye. So once we get to that quarterfinal, there's going to be a lot of pressure on the Legend to get that first playoff win and start a championship run.
Playoff monkeys are the worst. They smell, they smoke. It's just horrible. Gotta get rid of them.
We're getting reports that the super chat buttons and the like buttons could all be missing somehow from YouTube. Not really sure how that's possible, but let us know if you don't see the like button in the chat. Carolina's got everybody out. 5 wide with 41 seconds to go. South drops it short. That's McBride, but McBride cannot haul in the reception. Daniel Wright has been all over the field with his second breakup.
And they lined up man-to-man on defense. That was going to be could have been disastrous.
Thank you, Miles, on the update. That seems like that's just silly as McBride picks up 7. Carolina's going to burn a timeout, see if they can do anything with this 3rd and 3 here.
I mean, I would I'd just get the first down. Worry about that one play at a time.
South. 3rd down, caught. That's Chris Curtis to the 42. First down for the Skyhawks. Trying to get a little bit of momentum before the half.
Hopefully at halftime they see those routes that they're running for the mid routes across the middle and the short routes, how open the wide receivers are, and they can make some adjustments there and target them here in the second half.
South fires, incomplete, and there's penalty marker. It's PI.
And I don't know about that one.
Call on
like
Evan
they both
Carroll.
got to the ball at the same time. Let's see. And maybe a little early.
Yeah. Right at the end. That was all good, but then looked like Carroll wasn't really playing the ball. Wrapped up Quintero, didn't allow him to get the catch. Yeah, that's a break for the Skyhawks. They do get the ball to start the second half. If they could get points, any kind of points here before the break, that would be huge.
Agreed. They're almost there.
At the Florida 46. 23 seconds left and 1 timeout. South fires. Incomplete. Looking for Quintero. It would have been just outside of field goal range. Could be a blessing in disguise when it's all said and done here, Charles.
They did stop the clock. They didn't have to burn their last time out, to your point.
If they could fling it into field goal range from here, that's probably their best case scenario. 20 seconds left, 2nd down and 10. DeSantis goes in motion, has the 1 catch for 8 yards tonight. South is just 4 for 13 for 31 yards.
I was just checking on DeSantis. I didn't think he was targeted at all, but I am wrong.
South's pass looking for Quintero down the sideline, and again, Evan Carroll was there to break it up. 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're running the right routes. It's just, I don't know. I can't figure it out. That's, Chikalupi does not drop those balls.
Third and 10, South back to pass, just checks it down, looking for a block down the field. It was missed. Curtis still dragging, though, all the way down to the 35-yard line, and that may be enough to send out Malone Brown for a potential field goal. Doesn't look like it. The wind is swirling tonight.
As long as it's 48 this season and the wind, it's really dangerous at this distance.
Curtis did all he could to get him into range. 9 seconds left. We're going to try to get a little closer. That's not going to work out. I don't think they have enough time.
Nope.
He just came up just short. That is so unfortunate, Charles.
Yeah.
If they would have passed, they wouldn't have had time anyway. That was their only shot, really, to get another spike in. They didn't have enough time for that either. Well, that was a half.
That was definitely a half. That was a half. And it was, Florida's well in control of this one. They made one mistake all game, and Carolina's given them great field position, and every time they do that, Florida's making them pay. So hopefully Carolina can see some of those adjustments on that route tree, make the adjustments in this second half, and close the gap a little bit.
Did you know, Charles, that there is something called Lua scripts in a game which control the situational style of football? And did you know, Charles, that without being able to edit those things, that they will never change? And they will always be the same and have continued to be the same for 22 straight seasons in the SFL. Did you know that?
No.
Well, that's how it is. So anytime you ever see people saying, I can't believe that just happened, that's surprising to me. Anyway, that's the end of the question.
Something I said?
No, definitely not. I'm just at my wit's end this week with all that.
A virtual hug is being sent your way, sir.
Thanks, Charles. Appreciate that. 27-0. Start of the second half. And hey, Carolina got some momentum going there at the end of the first half. Christian Bacigalupi on the return gets it up to the 26-yard line, and that's where Carolina will start with it. So Skyhawks just got to take this one possession at a time, Charles. It's a 4-score game. Touchdown here, and we'll see what happens.
And I love it having Bacigalupi back there as a returner. He's a beast. He's really efficient at breaking tackles and getting that extra yard.
Four receivers, 3 to the right side as Matt South pump fakes, has time. Offensive line does a nice job. There's a penalty late. Could that have been an ineligible man on the pump fake? Roughing the passer.
Wow.
That's another break for the Skyhawks. That is called late on a slot man.
We're not going to get a replay.
It's Mario Edwards.
You don't see that very often.
No, a sixth corner coming in and, or a fourth corner rather, coming in and hitting South late. That's a 15-yard penalty. Gives the ball up to the 41-yard line.
What you can get.
Hand off to Ike McBride, and McBride lost a yard. Be second down and 11.
I mean, it's a tale of two different offensive lines. The offensive line for Carolina on those run plays, they're really going to battle against Florida. On the other side, the Florida offensive line is really blocking superbly on their run plays.
South drops to pass, and that was just a miscommunication. Chris Curtis wasn't even looking for the football. Ryan Davidson in coverage, but the Skyhawks a little out of sorts.
I think he had it for a split second, but I think the safety had a beeline on him. If he did catch it, he was going to get lit up.
Riley Quintero has been targeted 6 times tonight and has not caught a pass. That is a testament to Davidson and Carroll on the outside, the two corners that have just been all over these receivers tonight. South, 3rd and long. Has to run away. Matt South fires down the field. Pass is incomplete. Looking for Curtis. One-on-one again. Cannot come up with the play. J.J. Bailey with the deflection. And after that 15-yard penalty, Charles, Carolina gets -1 yards of offense and has to punt it away.
Yeah, the coverage was perfect on that play. I didn't see any receiver open.
Malone Brown with the punt. And a fair catch called for by Tarantino at the 32-yard line.
And now it's time for the Carolina defense to cause some turnovers or something to get some spark back into the Skyhawks.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line. If this score holds heading into the fourth quarter, we'll start talking about the playoff matchups. Got some juicy ones on our hands. Right now, Alamo City having themselves a good night. Carolina has just not been able to figure out this Florida defense. First and 10 at the 32-yard line. Cochran drops to throw. Carolina brings a little bit of pressure, and Boletsky will be ran down after a pickup of a little over 2 yards. Set up second down.
I mean, Mojo McClain, the outside linebacker for Carolina, has been having a pretty decent night tonight. When he's in that one-on-one coverage or situation, he's executing. Shows a lot of good closing speed, and that one pass deflection he had was just amazing.
8:48 to go in the third. Handoff to Kaysen, and Kaysen's had some running lanes. 3rd and inches.
It's time to do something, as the defense is going to start getting tired. I can't speak.
3rd and short. We won't hold it against you, Charles.
I'm sure.
It's been a long season.
It's been fast, hasn't it?
No. Handoff. Oh, he didn't get it. He did not get it. That was Comasac's back up in there.
Mojo again.
Yeah, Mojo McClain with the stop. I don't think we're going to get a challenge. That looked like a pretty good spot. Well.
Oh, here we go.
All right. So Coach Vandelay wants to take a look. Let's take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. It's your SFL console. Go Retroid.com. I don't think he's going to win this one.
Can the broadcast booth throw a challenge on the shirt that Art's wearing?
Don't lump me into it. I quite appreciate anybody that can pull off a Hawaiian shirt. Ooh, man, that is one of the closest calls of the season. I could go either way on that one.
That was close. I think they're going to keep it.
Yep. You got it. And Haynes Vision from our stats truck is showing it down the line, and that looks like a good spot. Florida's going to lose a timeout. Vandelay out there looking like Popovich back in the Spurs dynasties, arguing every call up 27.
Haynes Vision, man, I love Haynes Vision. Got to figure out a way to get it on the live telecast.
Yeah, that's great. We're going to work something out for the playoffs. You know, he did a breakdown, unfortunately, with SFL this week getting postponed. He did great breakdowns of Florida and Carolina that we didn't get to showcase tonight. But I'm sure that we can go back to those Florida ones in the playoffs. The Storm are going to be busy, I think, this postseason.
Yeah, definitely.
7:59 to go in the third quarter. Toss play out to McBride. McBride gets rid of one and is still going to lose a yard. Charles, is it us? Since the Alamo City win against Arizona at the buzzer on March 11th, every single Monday Night Spectacular game has been 2 scores or more.
Yep.
Did we get the best game of the year, and so the sim gods just decided to punish us for the rest of the season? What happened?
Well, there's one way to look at it. Yeah.
Because I may be biased, but I do think that Arizona Alamo City game was the best game of the season. That
was outstanding.
That game was incredible. Third and 7:16 to go in the third. Matt South is drilled. Sack in the backfield from Deontay Stoneville. Another punt coming for Carolina.
Both of those defensive ends, we haven't talked about them too much tonight, but they are both very specialized pass rushers. Stoneville had a sack last week. Now he gets to add to that streak tonight, and he just had his way with that tackle.
Knight Rider with a good point in the chat. It all started when you flexed out DC Tulsa. Yeah, I can't argue with that one. That Tulsa caught a spark there in the latter half of the season, and then they made a game out of that game with the Dragons. That was an exciting game.
Yep. Definitely wasn't a smoke show.
Oh,
I got you to
my.
laugh. Got a giggle out of it, Cam.
You give me to laugh all the time.
It's extra tough tonight, sir.
Yeah. Well, it's tough on us all, really. Except for maybe Ron Haynes.
Getting a new brother it's an exciting time. You just have to embrace it. No,
nothing to do with that. Chris Comisac picks up 9 yards, and that'll be near a first down here. That's his 7th carry.
Do you know any details about the wedding?
Spring. That's it. And I listen,
outside?
Charles. I hope they invite you because I sure as hell been paying for not inviting you all these years.
I mean, I want Dags doing the aerial photography. It's outside.
He did that for our wedding.
You can have broadcasters do the play-by-play.
2nd and 1. Boletsky's got a first down to the 22-yard line.
And when your sister walks down the aisle, it can play the SFL theme song that you play pregame.
I don't know how he proposed, but I have a feeling after she said yes, he said good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's how that went. No. I mean, that is his phrase, after all.
Yes.
Great analysis on that, Charles.
Hey, what?
Great analysis on that.
I know.
6:13 to go in the third quarter. And the handoff goes to Boletsky, picks up 1.
Yeah, I mean, when Carolina gets the ball back, they're pretty much going to take Ike and Harish out in the backfield because they're going to have to pass, and that's a very delicate situation.
By the way, we were fussing about the potential wedding as Vandelay makes a tackle. Wait
a minute, this could be good.
Danny Stinson got hurt earlier in the game. London Fletcher, his replacement, also got hurt on the drive.
Right.
So he's out. So now Brandon Spoon, the 3rd inside linebacker, is into the game for Carolina. So they are reaching down the depth chart at this point.
They've got one linebacker left, and he's an outside linebacker.
Handoff, Comisac, and will not get in. That is Chris Delro coming up with his 6th tackle. He leads the team. He came in for Amon Eaglin, who got hurt earlier in the game.
And that was a highlight tackle there.
Ike wants to come in at linebacker. Put me in, coach. Handoff, Boletsky, not going to get there. Another stop inside the 5. Prasad on the tackle.
Yeah, I think the worst thing for Florida to do, they're probably going to wind up doing it, is getting a touchdown, but it's passing. I would just run it right up the middle here. If they pass it and get an interception, they could potentially breathe some life back into Carolina.
Yeah, I agree. 3rd time's the charm here. 3rd and goal, just outside the 1. Is that Haynes? Ron Haynes in the backfield? Maybe Haynes will get a carry. Nope. Handoff. Comisac. Not going to get there. Delrose saves the touchdown. Chris Delro in combination with Prasad holds up Comisac, and Florida will have to kick the field goal. I don't think he's going to win that one either. Art Vandelay is angry tonight.
If you see the replay, you'll get to see Ron Haynes run to the corn dog stand. It didn't look like he had any assignment on the block. He just ran to the sideline.
Let's take a retroactive look at the play presented by
There he
Retroid.
goes. See you later, fellas.
Baby Ron needs to work on his run block in the off-season program. Come on, Ron. Play stands, and Florida's down to 1 timeout. Whatever will they do? Art's throwing out all the stops. Ron's out there hot dogging it. $5 super chat from Harish. Boy, that's a trooper right there. Someone got to call him George Costanza down. They do bear a striking resemblance. There's another injury. Kick is good. It's another Carolina player.
Holy smokes.
Now, fortunately, they have a fully healthy offense or a defensive line right now. This is the 4th injury to Carolina's defense. I mean, this is just blood sport out there right now.
We're going to have to take a long, hard look at their conditioning coach in the offseason.
Now, Charles, how familiar are you with the movie The Waterboy?
I've seen it a couple times.
Okay,
I don't know the quotes or anything.
Well, do you remember when Brent Musburger and I think it was Dan Fouts was calling the big bowl game, and he kept saying, it's the last game of the season, can't hold back now. Brent Musburger leans over and says, I know. Right? That's what I feel like Art Vandelay's challenges are all about.
Yep.
Whatever. It's just challenge everything. He is out of challenges now, so we won't have to put up with that. Matt South drops the pass, and it's incomplete. Looking for Curtis, 2nd down.
Yeah, that was good one-on-one coverage there. I don't think there was anywhere you could put that ball to get it to Curtis.
This Florida, Canton specifically, defenses are just suffocating. This could be Florida's 3rd shutout in 4 games. I mean, it is just wild.
Impressive. That is impressive.
2nd down, a long way to go. 4:13 to go in the 3rd. South looking for somebody open. That pass caught by DeSantis. Big hit there, but DeSantis holds on and picks up 6.
So Matt South is under 100 yards passing, and they haven't rushed over 50 yards.
Total yards 339 to 94. Right? Yeah, you got it. They have picked it up a little bit. They're late in the 2nd half and here in the 3rd, but not much of a difference. South drops to throw. He fires. That pass is intercepted, thrown behind the receiver. Another Prasad brother, Shravan, with the $5 super chat. Does this cover the Carolina health insurance deductible or not? I tell you what, Carolina's, I don't know if they're just trying to make me feel bad or what, but super chatting down 30 is just making me feel incredibly guilty.
Doesn't the owner of the team handle the health insurance?
It got 4 likes. Yeah, I think it does cover the deductible. Well, 3:39 to go in the 3rd. Handoff goes to Beletsky, and Beletsky will pick up just a yard.
Bill Hall was holding his own there in the middle. And Beletsky just kept trying to run through him.
If there's anybody, listen, there's 89 viewers right now holding on in this 30-point blowout. I can't thank you enough. If you maybe have never chatted before or don't chat a bunch and you want to tell me how long you've been watching the SFL or join the conversation or something, give us some interesting things to talk about. We've got another Monday night stinker. Oh my gosh, Ron Haynes! Wow. That may have been his most impressive catch all night. Absurd.
If you look closely, you can see just a little bit of mustard on his jersey. Yep, there it is right there on the pants.
Davidson Joseph was in prime position, couldn't come up with the play.
He's on fire tonight. And he's got a tackle, right? He has a tackle?
Yeah, he's got a tackle. We need to get him a Tide pen, though, for that. We need to get Tide as a sponsor.
Be completely transparent. I think a lot of people are waiting on a formal statement on your new brother.
All right, well, Boletsky's into the end zone for the score. That's a touchdown for Florida. And congrats to Bullet.
All right.
36-0. I'll give my official statement in a minute, I guess, since you're just going to – I don't even know what I'm being pressured. What is happening right now? Dang it, man. Could have been a close game. We wouldn't have to bring this up at all. Boletsky's got that's his second touchdown of the season. Komisak's been hogging it. Komisak's got 11. So congrats to Bullet for getting in the end zone and showing Chris Komisak who's boss.
Florida's played, with the exception of that one interception, they've played a perfect game. And the defense of Carolina's got to be exhausted.
So, Charles, what kind of official, what is an official statement? I'm very happy for the two of them. And
well, whatever.
Tyler's
I mean,
a great
you've
person.
got a new brother. There's got to be some.
Well, not yet.
Oh, he's actively working towards that goal. What is the during the year? When is the one time when you can go on vacations? And during that time, will you be going on like brother trips with him, like fly fishing or?
Definitely not fly fishing. You wouldn't catch too many bugs, Charles. I'm not a bug guy. Yeah, I mean, usually the vacations come sometime in the off season. Get away from the office a little bit. He's up in Missouri though. It's quite a trek, but we'll have to see what he's got going on up there as Ike McBride picks up 3. He's going to have a bunch of tags tonight. He's probably, I don't even know what he's even doing tonight, but he's going to have a lot of material to listen back to.
Yes. And we have a long time to add more.
Somebody super chat and make Charles stop. I'll get to some of the topics out there as well. Some people were throwing out some things. 2nd down and 7, 2:02 to go in the third. As Harish Prasad picks up 1, and Harish is down. Just kidding. Just a little bit of humor. Just a little bit of humor for the night. Robert Thump says, Charles, talk about Robert Thump signing as Motor City as the new head coach and what that means for Motor City. So Robert Thump wants us to talk about him. That's one way to do it.
And he's talking about himself in the third person.
It is a strategy. South's deep ball is incomplete.
I think that's great. I mean,
Quintero.
Was he an assistant coach at ACA?
Yeah, part of the staff.
Working with Greg. I mean, that's a good guy to learn from, and I think he's prepared to help Motor City.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing for Motor City too. You know, sometimes a fresh pair of eyes is all they need, and Drew Riley's helping out with the transition over there, and yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of teams have overturned their staff. Another team too, Charles. I mean, there's something to be said about what's been going on in Vancouver this year, right? I mean, you guys have kind of added to the coaching staff and the coaches' ranks. It used to be all on the shoulders of Andy Hamilton, and look, Vancouver's right back in the playoffs, winning division titles. So, good on you guys as well.
Brought the old guys back.
Reunited.
Ooh, he's saying.
Is that on the bingo sheet? Loss of 2 for Bullet.
You're not getting out of your statement, are you? You're trying to get out of your
I already said it. You're just not paying attention. I gave an official statement.
That was it?
What do you?
Okay.
What do you want from
Whatever.
me? This is the backyard of Mike St. Green's pre-convention party all over again. I mean,
I'm just trying to
me
look out for Tyler's feelings.
It's giving me flashbacks to all of the moments I wished I got a phone call at 11:30 at night while you were bombarding me with drunken questions about why you weren't invited to my wedding.
Yeah, you really got to lay off the sauce, Ken.
No. It was you.
That was
the
not. We're not an ambassador of the league that evening. Let's just say that.
Don't turn that back on me. Ron Cochran on 3rd down and 10. That pass is incomplete, and an extra little shoulder charge after the deflection from a frustrated Carolina defender. And the Skyhawks will get the ball back. Good stop on defense.
So now the goal is they got to just put something on the board by the end of this game. Don't want to walk away with a goose egg.
Gamer at work. I recently discovered this around week 10 or 11. Not sure, but it's been fun. I appreciate your viewership, and hopefully you've seen some other games besides our Monday night primetime games, because that's the only time you've watched. You've seen some rough ones. Watch Galuppi on the return to the 16-yard line. And Charles, Carolina, I mean, it would be the largest comeback in league history at this point. If they go on to end up losing this game, it's got to be disappointing for them because they came so far, from where they were at the start of the season, won all the games they were supposed to win, just unlucky to run into Florida in that last week of the season. But 6-6, I mean, it's not easy.
And you never want to face a team like Florida after a loss.
That's true too. I think they
were still chomping at the bit after the Canton game.
Yeah, if they would have beaten Canton, they would have had the #1 seed locked up. They'd be trying to get an undefeated season, but they've already done that before.
Maybe we wouldn't have seen so many challenges from Art tonight if they won last week.
Yeah, maybe so. The Florida team is angry, and they're playing like it tonight. 37-0. They've made their statement. 10 minutes to go. We'll continue to read your chatter and get you through and hopefully continue to entertain you here on the Monday Night Spectacular coming up.
Or account to the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Florida over-under of 50.5 tonight. Going to cover that 8.5-point spread. Start of the fourth quarter. Handoff goes to McBride, and Florida's been all over that stretch outside Charles tonight. Their linebackers just been too fast.
And they've had extra help up on the line too. I think they've expected those types of run plays, and they've covered it well tonight.
That South's pass is intercepted. Picked off, going back the other way to the Carolina 20-yard line. This one picked by J.J. Bailey.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to pile on, but this is one of the most dominant defensive performances I've seen.
And we had Indy, Minnesota last week.
Yeah.
It's Bailey's second pick of the season.
Neither running or passing, they've gone over 100 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
50 for running, right?
32nd pick. That's right, 43 on the ground. 32nd pick for Florida this season. They were second coming into the week. Trailing Canton as Boletsky takes the handoff, picks up 6. Replay Sports Channel, my 3rd season watching the SFL.
Yeah, I can only imagine how gassed Carolina is.
Yeah. Handoff, Comisac. I think he's short. Can't challenge, Art. You're out of challenges. 3rd down.
Wow.
Well, Florida's going to get 2 weeks off to prepare for whoever they get in the quarterfinals. They'll get the second lowest seed. Canton will get the lowest seed. So if you're a low seed out there, like Alamo City, if you beat Fort Worth, your reward is Canton this year. As Boletsky gets the first down, we'll make it 1st and goal, 8:25 and counting.
Congratulations, you get to play Canton.
$8:10 left. Hand off. Kaysen out of the 4. 2nd down and goal.
Oh, Cam. What a this is a game. This is definitely a game.
Carolina's worst loss in franchise history was a loss to the Minneapolis Maulers. That was in the playoffs. At that point, they were the Honolulu Legends. They lost 76-27. That was almost taken away in the backfield, and Komisak just rolls in untouched for the score. But as the Skyhawks, they were shut out 45-0 to Mexico City. That was back in season 12. But it's been a long time since Carolina's had to sit through a game like this.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on the wrong end of these types of games, and man, they really do sting.
Extra point coming up for Sneed is good. 44 Zippo.
There's still time. I hate to keep bringing it up. There's still time not to win, but to put some points on the board.
Yes, true.
And right now, it's you just you want to get rid of the goose egg.
Charles, did you as a kid did you watch Beavis and Butthead?
Yes, I did.
Did you see the SNL skit last 2 nights ago?
So I saw a video of the guy sitting in the, what was it, Beavis? Who's the guy with the hair that sticks up? Yeah, that was pretty funny. I didn't have sound on because I was on a call.
The skit's pretty hilarious. Heidi Gardner, who's an SNL actress, usually pretty stoic, just couldn't handle herself. That was pretty funny. That's a good laugh if you're looking for a laugh.
You watch things besides sports?
Every once in a while.
Really?
Yeah, that caught my attention on the old feed.
Still sending the heat, Cam.
Yeah, pass incomplete to DeSantis. Charles, we lost another, Billy Ray Valentine.
Yeah.
This past week, we'll once we get into next season, we'll be adding the a tribute screen along with league rights of all the players that we've lost this year. Mike Daggs and Gerald Smith on the Matt Wilson pre-week kickoff show. That's a nice
there you go.
Nice pass and catch to Chris Curtis. But they did a great tribute to Billy Ray Valentine and everybody else. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out after this game. They did a great job. I know that when I got the news, Charles, I was obviously just saddened by his passing, but also just frustrated that we lost another person of this community. I mean, way too soon. You know, these are not 90-year-old people, you know, that are moving on to a better world. These are people. Oftentimes, you know, feels like they're in their prime. So it's just very frustrating. Life is very fleeting, and I wish there was more positivity in this world, Charles, so that we could appreciate life a little bit more. And hopefully Billy's in a better place right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the SFL is like a family. You know, you develop these friendships. You don't get to see them, the people that are your friends face to face. You do develop a bond, and when one of your teammates or close friends online goes, and it really stings.
South to pass, dumps it off short. Quintero again. I mean, that is his 9th target. No catches for Riley Quintero. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. I mean, he just has not been able to break free at all.
Yep, that's not like him.
No, not at all.
Very reliable.
I mean, he has 50 catches during the season. It's 21st in the SFL. I mean, he's clearly a wide receiver 1 in this league, and he just has had a night, just a night to forget. Deep ball, that's caught.
There you go.
Christian Bacigalupi, 10-5. The shutout is over.
Nice.
Touchdown, Carolina. What a dime.
Oh, I know this game was going to sting, but they needed that. They had to get some points on the board.
One-on-one coverage, and Adam Jones just, whiffed. And that is literally the first mistake we have seen out of Florida's defense all night.
Ooh. And that was a big play, too. That was a quick strike.
Bacigalupi's 4th touchdown. That ties Quintero on just his 21st catch of the season. So he's been also pretty efficient with his touchdown ratios. That kick is good, 6:07 left, and there's some positivity there for Carolina.
Definitely some positivity.
Bacigalupi and others were talking about the playoff formats. There's a reseeding after the wild card, so the lowest seed will play the 1, the second lowest seed will play the 2, etc. But then once we get to the quarterfinals, that bracket is set and does not reseed. So I just want to clarify that for anybody getting ready for the playoffs. Miles FH asks, when is the dev draft and the start of SFLM season? The start of the SFLM season is going to be Friday, May 10th. That's the night before the championship game. The dev draft will be announced sometime this week. I'm actually meeting with our staff on Wednesday to discuss sort of the final things that need to happen before the SFLM season kicks into high gear about 25 days from now. So stay tuned for details on that dev draft as Boletsky picks up 6 yards. He's up over 60 now.
Yeah, I mean, they've had what total, I think, over 100 or close to 100 all day. And, both Komisak and Boletsky have been effective out of that backfield. You got to give credit to that offensive line for Florida. They've done an outstanding job tonight.
5:40 and counting as Florida tries to put the finishing touches on this one, run the clock out. Handoff, Komisak will get a couple more. 3rd and a long one coming up.
Cochran's, we haven't been talking about Cochran a lot, but he's having a pretty darn solid game as well. I mean, he's approaching 300, 72% completion, 2 touchdowns, and a 117 QBR. Not bad.
Pretty good night for Ron. What a stellar career he's had. Look at the lane for Boletsky. Oh, no, Boletsky's in the open field. He's going to be caught from behind. Skippy Curtis saves the touchdown, her 8th tackle. I was thinking Boletsky was about to get his 3rd.
Well, that defense of Florida, it's like death by 1,000 cuts, and it's this time of the game that with the defense being out there this long, I'm impressed they were able to run him down. They've got to be out of gas.
Boletsky, 94 rushing yards tonight. He's up to 744 on the season. Hasn't maybe had the season that he would have hoped for. Of course, Komisak's been a touchdown vulture as well to his numbers. But still, all in all, a pretty good campaign for the Bullet. And he's having one of his better nights tonight as Kason picks up 5. The injuries for Carolina were brutal. And you wonder, I think Florida probably still wins the game just based on the margin. But you wonder what this game could have been, Charles, if that defense would have been fully healthy.
You lost 2 guys that can make that critical turnover, or at least do something to get some energy, get some momentum sparked on your team. They're sitting on the bench nursing injuries.
$10 super chat from Prasad, guys. I think we still have a chance. Don't stop believing. Hand off to
Sounds
Bullet.
like a good song.
It is a good song. Timeless. John Marine says, these Florida uniforms are my favorite of any team. What's your favorite uniform besides Vancouver in the league, Charles?
Favorite uniform? Well, you know, I like San Diego. I know I was on San Diego, but I like a couple of their uniforms. And what was the other one? I think in Indianapolis. They're one of the one they had with it looked like the solar eclipse one. I thought was pretty cool. I don't think you liked that one, but I liked it.
Oh, no, I did like that one, actually. I thought it turned out great. Comisac dropped in the backfield. I am not, as to your point, Charles, I am not your typical alternate uniform supporter. It's not my thing, but I think Indy did a nice job with those. It was a one-off crazy game, so crazy day, really, with that solar eclipse. But I just wish it would have played better. It was a tough night for us too.
That's a once in a lifetime event, seeing that solar eclipse.
You know, they say that, and then what is the next one in 24 years? I mean, what kind of life expectancy have we dropped to?
Last time I was a little kid, the last time they came, and I asked my dad, knew what an eclipse was, and he said, "No, son."
Ethan Sneed puts another one through. I thought he was going to miss that one. Sneed's been great tonight. 4 for 4 now. 47-7. As the clock ticks away. 199 super chat from Skippy Curtis. Comeback. Hashtag comeback. Somebody tag Mike St. Green. We'll appreciate the joke. Miles FH asked if I ever thought about having an all-star selection show. I think it'd go about as well as this game has tonight. Just a lot of negativity around that whole process. We have an all-star committee that puts the all-star teams together every year. Every year there are complaints. People think they're getting screwed over. The committee says, hey, why don't you join us next season? And then nobody does, and the cycle repeats. That's what it's like on planet Earth. I'm just full of rainbows tonight, aren't I, Charles?
I know. Holy smokes.
So, no.
With all the great things happening, you should be walking on sunshine, man. I got a baby brother.
We've come full circle. When did this start? Like 2 minutes to go in the first half. South drops the throw, nearly intercepted. That one was jumped. Didn't get a number on that, but someone wanted a touchdown.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And there wasn't anyone on the field to stop him if he was able to pull that in.
Second and 10, 2:19 to go in the fourth. South's pass caught. Bachagalupi having himself a great fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was a nice catch. Got knocked around, able to hold on to it.
And Chase Earl with a catch to the Florida 43-yard line. Now they just got to get Quintero a grab, get his confidence back up. 2-minute warning. That's all that's left here in the regular season of season 22.
A fun regular season, Cam.
Charles, these playoffs should be pretty great. We got a lot of great teams.
It's going to be a blast.
Once DeSantis goes in motion, Carolina unfortunately will not be there. Congrats to the Alamo City Artillery for nabbing that 12th spot. And Charles, we actually didn't get to talk about it as much as I thought we were going to as Carolina takes a timeout. But here's your first round playoff matchups. So it looks like we're going to have Alamo City at Fort Worth to start the playoffs on Saturday. Houston will take on Atlanta. That'll be an exciting game. Houston ties their franchise record, 4 wins in a season. Vancouver will face Gabriel Manning and the Tulsa Desperados. And Seattle gets a chance to get Baltimore out of the postseason. That's the 9-8 game in Baltimore, a rematch of one of our Monday Night Spectaculars we had earlier this season. That one also got away from us. Yeah, you know, Alamo City, Fort Worth should be great, but any others stick out to you?
I mean, I want to see, I want to see if anyone can stop Canton or Florida. I mean, somebody's got to. I mean,
that would be a huge.
We need
upset.
to have some unpredictable. Well, sorry,
I said that would be a huge upset.
I know. I was like, I mean, I don't like it when teams go undefeated the whole year.
I'm just going to enjoy the wild card round. Maybe we'll get some points and 2 offenses that, you know, I mean, Florida and Canton's defenses clearly are, you know, a class of all-time great defenses in the SFL. And we have just seen them, especially Florida in the latter part of the season, kind of join up with Canton. You know, to just start locking down opponents. This is 4th down for Carolina. It's picked off. And a stiff arm and a return past the 50. Got a block. Oh, got another block. 1 Mississippi. No way. Touchdown, Florida. That was crazy.
Oh, wow. I mean, what can you say, Cam? I've run out of accolades for the Florida team. I'm going to say it with, a minute 45 left or whatever. I'm out of accolades.
1 Mississippi's first pick 6 of his career. And Deontay Stoneville with the key block that sprung him. Unbelievable. Congrats to Juan.
Yeah. Those nice moves, though. You know, Juan Mississippi is moving like a fullback out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Extra point from Snead is good.
This is a statement game. Anybody playing Florida better
Certainly is.
have their act together.
I think what these last 3 weeks, or these last 3 big games from Florida also says is, look, it isn't Canton and everybody else. It's Canton, Florida, and everybody else. Don't put us down in the category with all the other teams. We belong in the upper echelon conversation. We're the defending champs, and I mean, we're gonna kill you if you're not ready.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I think this is the best game that Cochran has had since like week 7. Not that he's had bad games, but I mean, he's had a 230 yards, 109 yards, 196, 163. He came out ready to play tonight.
A minute and a half to go. That misses. That may have been the best play of the game. That was a heck of a play by Mississippi. Curtis with the catch up to the 42-yard line. Carolina's got 2 timeouts left to burn. They'll take one there. I still want Quintero to get that grab. He's just had such a tough night.
Oh, definitely. And I'm amazed every time I see Mississippi that they're able to fit his name on the back of the jersey.
One of the best names in the SFL, really is.
Yep.
South to throw. Fires. Incomplete. Looking for Curtis. Davidson in one-on-one coverage.
I mean, Matt South has had no time. I mean, they're still sending the heat here, up 54-7.
South fires incomplete. I believe, Charles, I think this is the most points any team has scored this season. 54. in the last game of the season.
Really?
Yeah. At least per my records, I don't see anything. I don't see anything higher than that.
What was the next lowest?
51. Canton had.
Yeah, I knew there was one team that went over 50. I couldn't remember. Was it Canton?
Canton had 51. They beat Motor City 51-3 earlier this season. That pass is incomplete. Oh, actually, we had a couple 52s. Tulsa beat Carolina 52-17. I really didn't. Oh, that was week 1. I didn't mean to bring that up. It just, Charles pressed me. Seattle beat Louisiana 52-17. Remember that game earlier this season, Charles? Seattle had like 34 points in the fourth quarter.
Right.
They really just like went nuts. But yeah, 54 is their new season high. Oh yeah, Houston had 66 miles FH. That's right. They beat Portland 66-17. So, oh boy, Matt South gets decked. That's game over.
Yeah, that was the beeline straight.
We did it, Charles. 82 viewers still. You guys are champions.
Well, we did our best, sir.
We hope you feel the same way at home. We tried. These games, people don't necessarily know unless they've been in this position, Charles, but these are the hardest games to call. I mean, it makes our job so difficult. We try to, we try to give the winning team their due and their props and stay excited for them and all their achievements and accomplishments, but we also try to not dunk on a team that's losing, but also, call out what they haven't been able to achieve, throughout the. It's a tough balance, and it's not easy. We much prefer competitive games.
Not to get too sappy, but you make it easier. I mean, it's
you too, buddy.
It's a pleasure doing games with you.
Yeah, it's a tough way to end a season. Leaves a sour taste in the mouth. Carolina, I mean, they've had a pretty great season. It's been a lot of fun seeing the growth in some of their new staff as well. Ike McBride, third in the league in rushing yards coming into the night. Looks like she's going to fall short of 900. She was 55 yards away. We have her unofficially 37, but she's had a good season. Matt South coming into the night was fourth in the league in completion percentage. I mean, there's been some bright spots for sure.
Well, definitely. I mean, and they're getting, one of the things that caught my eye when I was studying up for this game was just how far Skippy Curtis has come since she first entered the league.
Yep, 9 tackles
she's
tonight.
one of the best safeties out in the league.
And Delro had 7 tonight, too, in replace of Ibarri. Played valiantly. Prasad had 12 tackles in the absence of Stinson. That was a big loss. Defensive line pretty quiet tonight as the offensive line for Florida really stood up and stood tall. Here's your final numbers. It's about as we may have expected. Carolina still cobbled together 183 total yards of offense. We've seen worse, but it was all Florida tonight. Who's your player of the game, Charles?
I'm gonna give it to the entire defense of Florida. I mean, you hold the team to 7 points and under 200 passing and under 50 rushing. Especially when you got Ike McBride on the other side, that is impressive.
Yeah, let's see what Mississippi ended up with. We have him as the leading tackler. Adam Jones ends up with 11, but Mississippi right there, 8 tackles, had the pick 6, tackle for loss. I echo your statements. I'll throw an exclusive game ball to Mississippi's way. That was a heck of a play, and congrats on your first pick 6 of your career. Well, that does it for the SFL regular season. It didn't end how many of us may have wanted, but if you're a Florida Storm player, you had a lot of fun tonight. 54-7 the final. For Ike McBride, Ron Haynes, Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine, and we'll see you in the playoffs. SFL this week, tomorrow night. We'll be breaking down the matchups and have your playoff schedule with dates and times and more coming up tomorrow. We'll see you then.